one other thing to note is that this is your practice. So I will guide you through different poses. I'll show you different things, but ultimately this is for you. So if something doesn't feel right, switch it up, modify it. You can always raise your hand and be like, I don't know what you're talking about, give me something else because this doesn't work. So just figuring out what feels best to your body as we move through our practice today. So find a comfortable seat on your mat, and that could be cross-legged, kneeling. You can sit up on your block. You can lay with your legs out in front of you, whatever is most comfortable to you in this moment. And closing your eyes, take a moment to shift around, and it can be pretty subtle. Just noticing some of those kinks from your evening, the stress from your week, noticing where it's stuck in your body. And then over the next 2 or so breaths, finding a seat that you can fully settle into. Beginning that deeper breath, so inhaling through the nose, filling yourself up as much as you can, noticing that soft pause at the top, and then allowing for that long, slow exhale out the nose, emptying you back out. Lift up a little bit taller through the crown of your head. And soften through your shoulders, your jaw. And start to scan your body. So notice a little more intentionally where you're holding stress, where you're holding tension. Maybe you notice your jaw clenching slightly, or your hips feeling a little bit tight, or your low back talking to you. Just doing a little scan of what's present for you in this moment. And then select one of those spots to focus in on for your practice. So maybe your whole body is talking to you. Pick just one area, maybe it's your right shoulder. And then begin to breathe into that spot, directing your attention, your breath, your awareness. Notice what's bubbling up for you as you hone in on that area. We'll take 3 more breaths with that in mind. Keeping your eyes closed. We're going to change up the breath just slightly. So on your next inhale, you're going to inhale for a count of 4. You're going to hold for a count of 7. You're going to exhale for a count of 8. So I'll guide you through this. If you already started, you can just follow your same pattern. Exhale. Inhale for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale for 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale for 4. Hold for 7. Exhale for 8. Inhale for 4. 7. Exhale for 8. Last round, inhale for 4. Hold for 7. Exhale for 8. Come back to that Ujjayi breath, so just inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the nose. And start to add some movement here. So maybe it's as simple as rolling through the head, maybe opening and closing the hands, or leaning a little bit side to side. And as you feel ready, you're going to transition forward onto hands and knees and continue to move here. So it could be the basic cat-cow, and that's a great place to start. Inhaling, lifting through the heart, exhaling to round the spine. Or maybe you settle the hips all the way towards the heels, coming forward through a version of up dog. There's really no wrong movement here. It's just feeling, shifting, moving in a way that feels good to your body. We'll take about 5 more breaths, and that could be all the way back and hanging out in child's pose for a few breaths. I feel like the first part of our practice is about this discovery, to see where we're at today, how our body responds to movement, to feeling. And then, as you feel ready, press back to our first downward facing dog of the practice. So hands about shoulder width apart or a little wider. All fingers spread, and then you're going to curl the toes under, extend the hips up to the sky, creating a V shape with the torso. Head needs heavy, knees can be bent. Press the chest towards the shins, so you create this elongation in the spine. Yeah. About 5 more breaths. You can bend and straighten your legs here, feeling that stretch through the calves. Or even shifting the hips side to side, getting a little side body stretch. And exhale, slowly lower your knees down to the mat. We're going to cross the ankles and come all the way onto the back for core work. So does anyone not have a prop? You need either a block or a rolled up mat. Anyone got one? Anyone got it? Everyone else is good? Cool. Fabulous. All right. So take hold of your prop and place it in between your thighs, snug up towards the pubic bone, middle width. Yeah. And lay down onto your back. Guess I should turn this way so I don't have my butt right in the camera. It'd be unfortunate. All right. Inhale, extend the legs straight up to the sky. You're welcome to bend the knees. So if you feel this pulling on your hamstrings or low back, bend the knees. If this still bothers your low back, keep the feet all the way down on the ground. Spread your toes. Interlace your hands back behind your head. Take a huge breath. Spread it through the low back. Hold that breath. Press mid-back in the mat. Curl tailbone up. Squeeze around your prop. Exhale. Lift head and shoulders. Squeeze your prop a little more. Pull low belly down. Inhale. Lower head and shoulders. Hold the breath. Press mid-back in the mat. Curl tailbone up. Squeeze your prop. Exhale. Lift head and shoulders. Shoulder blades come up. Squeeze a little more. Pull belly down. Inhale, lower head and shoulders. Hold the breath. Press mid-back in the mat. Curl tailbone. Squeeze. Exhale, lift head and shoulders. Shoulder blades come up. Squeeze a little more. Pull belly down. Inhale, lower head and shoulders. Hold the breath. Press mid-back in the mat. Curl tailbone, squeeze. Exhale, lift head and shoulders. Shoulder blades come up. Squeeze a little more, pull belly down. Inhale, lower head and shoulders. One more here. Hold the breath in. Press mid back in the mat. Curl tailbone, squeeze. Exhale, head and shoulders lift. Shoulder blades lift. Squeeze a little more, pull belly down. Inhale, lower head and shoulders. Release your legs to the mat. Set your prop aside. Let's do some windshield wiper legs. So walk your feet about mat width apart. Arms come out in goalposts by your sides. Exhale, knees over to one side. Inhale, back through center. Exhale, over to the other side. And just get into a rhythm with your breath here. This is really cathartic for the low back, decent for the hips. And if it feels delicious in one place, stay for an extra breath or so. So again, listening to your body. Discovering what's present for you, what's available to you to tap into in these moments. Moving into Death Star, which is another core piece of yoga. So pick up your feet, bend your knees at a 90-degree angle, stacked over your hips. Hands reinterlaced behind your head. Take a deep breath, spread it through the back body. On your exhale, lift head and shoulders. Take a deep breath in. Curl tailbone up. Exhale, elbows towards left thigh. Reach the right leg straight up towards the ceiling. Pull belly down. All right, reach down with your left hand, grab the left leg. Place the left foot to the inside of the right thigh. And you can hold your foot there if you need it. Press foot into thigh, thigh back into foot. Exhale, reach the torso higher, reach the right leg higher, pull belly down. Yep, you guys all got it. Inhale, bend both knees, come back to center. Hold the breath. Curl tailbone up. Exhale, elbows towards right thigh. Reach left leg straight up towards the ceiling. Pull belly down. Inhale, right foot to the inside of the left thigh. Use your hand to get it there. Press foot into thigh, thigh back into foot. Exhale, reach torso higher, reach legs higher, pull belly down. Inhale, bend both knees back to center. Hold the breath. Keep your head and shoulders up. Curl tailbone, there you go. Exhale, elbows towards left thigh. Reach your right leg straight up towards the ceiling. Pull belly down. Inhale, bring left foot to the inside of the right thigh. Press. Foot into thigh, thigh back into the foot. Reach a little bit higher with the torso. Reach a little bit higher with the leg. Pull belly down. Back to center. Hold the breath. Last one here. Curl tailbone up. Exhale, elbows towards right thigh. Reach that left leg straight up to the ceiling. Pull belly down. Inhale, press right foot into the inner left thigh. Exhale, reach torso higher. Reach legs higher. Pull belly down. And inhale, release it all to the earth. Do we need more core? No one wants to say anything. All right, I'm going to say that we're good on core then. All right, reach down. Grace the back of your heels with your fingertips. Knees, so the idea here is to have your knees stacked directly over the heels. Root down through your feet about hip width apart. On your inhale, peel the spine away from the mat, lifting into bridge pose. And if this is too much on your low back, you can always place that block under your hips or in between the thighs. Arms can either rest down along your sides or can come into goalposts here. Connect into that long, fluid breath. Filling up the chest and belly. Opening up all those areas you just contracted. Beautiful. Close your eyes. Turn that awareness more inward. So once again, you're noticing how this pose is affecting your body. Inhale, lift into the belly. Exhale, tuck tailbone, slowly roll your spine down to the mat, upper, mid, and lower spine. And then release the back body here. So you can either hug the knees into your chest or press the thighs away, rocking a little bit side to side. Roll over onto your left side. Press your way up to a seat and come all the way forward onto hands and knees. If you need a few cat-cows, you're welcome to take those. Otherwise, tuck your toes under, hips extend up and back for another downward facing dog. Check in with this down dog. If it feels like too much pressure on your wrists or your shoulders, you can always stay on hands and knees. You can also come to your forearms instead and take a dolphin. Walk it out, 3 more breaths here. Exhale. Lower your knees to the ground, coming into turbo dog. So we'll start with a turbo puppy. Hands are shoulder width or a little bit wider apart. Your exhale, start to bend your elbows so they're hovering above the ground. And then squeeze the forearms towards one another isometrically, like you're trying to squeeze an invisible block. You're welcome to stay here. This is a lot in and of itself. Or curl your toes under, extend the hips up to the sky, keep your elbows bent. Turbo dog. Should feel a lot in the chest muscles and the biceps. See if you can let the head hang, still hovering the elbows above the ground. You can always come back to your knees. We'll take 3 more breaths. Yes, awesome. Nice, Lisa. Melanie, squeeze your elbows together. There you go. Exhale, knees to the earth. This time bring your forearms all the way down to the mat, coming into dolphin. So those of you, especially in the back row, hop right into it. You don't need to listen to me. Everyone else, you can take an extra moment to set up. Nice hand. You grab hold of the opposite upper arms with your hands. That just measures the distance between your elbows. And then place your forearms back onto the mat, either parallel to one another or hands clasping at the top. That just gives the shoulders a little more support. Take a huge breath, lift up in between the shoulders. Engage to the chest so you get that isometric contraction once again. Exhale, curl your toes under, hips extend up to the sky for dolphin. Yep, head is up off of the ground. See if you can turn your head a little bit, yes and no. Knees can be bent here. It's more about creating that long, straight spine. All right, on your next inhale, slowly float the left leg to the sky. Nice, Kim. Spread your toes. Lift that leg maybe a little bit higher. Maybe more of the weight shifts into your forearms, feeling that engagement through the core. Exhale, lower the left foot down to the ground slowly. Inhale, extend the right leg up to the sky. Nice, David. Spread the toes. See if the leg can lift a little bit higher. Nice, Anna. Take 1 more inhale here. Exhale, slowly lower the right foot down. Last breath in dolphin. Maybe tiptoeing the toes in closer. And exhale, ease your knees to the earth. Child's pose, embryo, or puppy. So wherever you are, you're resting. So the hips can come all the way back to your heels for a child's pose. If that bothers your knees or hips, you can keep the knees, or rather you can keep the hips elevated over the knees. Taking a few deep breaths here. Into the back body. And noticing that spot that you chose, check in with that area. Take a few deep breaths into that spot. And really, this is a pose about surrendering. So if there's something that doesn't feel right, like you've got tension in your neck or your jaw, see if you can modify how you're situated. Yeah. So that you don't feel that additional stress. On your next inhale, Breeze up to hands and knees. Exhale back to your version of downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, step or hop your way to the top of your mat, forward fold. Knees can be bent here, especially if you have tight hamstrings. Inhale, halfway lift, extending the spine. Hands come up to your thighs. Exhale to fold it back in. Awesome, breathing. Inhale, halfway lift. Nice, Jamie. Exhale, fold it in. Then inhale, come all the way up to standing, rolling your spine. Reach the arms overhead, maybe a little back bend here. Exhale, hands back to heart center. Classical signs flowing here. Inhale, re-extend the arms. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Slow and controlled. Inhale, step left foot back, lunge. Your choice today, you can keep the knee lifted or you can lower that left knee down to the ground. I like to add padding. Inhale, lift up to the chest. Nice, Brittany, soften the shoulders. We'll take an extra breath here, opening through the front body. Exhale, hands to the mat. Step back to plank pose. The upper push-up position. You have a choice here. You can go directly into downward facing dog or move with me through a vinyasa. Knees can always come down for support. Chaturanga. Inhale, lift the heart, cobra or up dog. Beautiful, Gina. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Inhale, step left foot forward, lunge. Your choice. This right knee can be lifted or lowered today. Lift open through the heart. Soften through the shoulders. Exhale, hands to the earth. Step forward, Uttanasana, this forward fold. Inhale, come all the way up to standing, arms reach overhead. Maybe a little back bend. Exhale, hands to heart center. Flowing here, inhale, re-extend. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Knees can bend as you fold. Inhale, step right foot back, lunge. Lift and open. Exhale, hands to the mat. Going at your own pace, step back to plank. Either directly to down dog or flow here, lowering chaturanga. Inhale, lifting the heart. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Inhale, step right foot forward, lunge. Open it up. Nice, Adam, lift through the heart. Exhale, hands to the earth. Step forward, forward fold. Moving at your own pace. Come all the way up. Awesome, breathing. Exhale, hands back, heart center. Continuing here. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Slow and controlled. Inhale, left foot back, lunge. Lift and open, telescoping the ribs. Exhale, hands to the earth. Step to plank. Go at your own rhythm here. Down dog or chaturanga. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Good, Lisa. Inhale, step left foot forward, lunge. Lift and open. Exhale, hands to the mat. Forward folds. Breathing with your movement, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart center. One more round here. Inhale, re-extend. Exhale, fold. Inhale, right foot back, lunge. Open it up. Exhale, hands to the earth, step to plank. Chaturanga. And always skip that and go to down dog. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale to down dog. Inhale, step right foot forward, lunge. Open it up. Exhale, hands to the earth, forward folds. Inhale, come all the way up. Exhale, hands to heart. Beautiful breathing. Close your eyes. Release your arms by your side for this mountain pose. And just take a moment to breathe. Check in with that spot you selected. Rededicating to tune into that area as you move through practice. So if a pose doesn't feel good to that spot, change it up. Make that commitment to yourself. Or if your spot needs something different, maybe you're checking in with your heart and you need to move slower, kinder. Maybe you check in with your core and you need more intensity. So just note what's bubbling up for you. You're welcome to keep your eyes closed. Inhale, float the arms back up to the sky. Exhale, sit back, chair pose, Utkatasana. So hips reach back. If you want to do this true Forrest yoga style, you'll peel the toes away from the mat. It just engages a little bit more. Lift through the heart, feel into the intensity. You can always bend the elbows to take pressure out of the shoulders. Nicely, so lift the heart a little more. Exhale, you all did it. Forward folds. Inhale, spinal extension at halfway lift. Exhale, place your hands on the mat and just step your way back to plank pose. So this upper push-up position. And always bring the knees down for support. We're going to hang out here for a breath or two. Just feeling your core engaged. You have a choice from here. You can always skip that vinyasa and go directly to down dog by lifting your hips up and back. Or you'll move slowly through Chaturanga. So elbows squeezing towards your side body, coming down about halfway through the push-up, and then scooping your chest through for cobra or up dog. Yes, nice. David, draw shoulder blades back. That's it. Exhale, perfect, Lisa. Exhale, back to downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in. Exhale out the mouth. Inhale to extend the left leg up and back. Exhale, bend that left knee, open up through the hip. So keep equal weight through your hands here. This can be a really nice stretch through the hip flexor. Nice mid-spinal twist. Inhale, re-extend the left leg to the sky. Exhale, step the left foot through for warrior two. So right heel roots down. Inhale, windmill your arms up. I'll spin around so I can see you all. So left toe is pointing towards the front of the mat. Right heel rooted on the ground. Good. And you can choose, if you want to do it a normal yoga style, your gaze can be over that left middle finger. If you want to do it Forrest style, your gaze is going to be neutral, directly over your chest, so you'd be facing that right wall. Either version is exactly perfect. Soften through the shoulders. Fill this pose up with breath. If your shoulders start to feel like they're holding a lot in this pose, always flip the palms, and that decreases the intensity in the shoulders and the neck. Exhale, release the arms down in front of you. Shoulder shrug, so you all stay where you are. Take a deep breath into the back of your heart. Hold the breath in, reach the shoulders up as high as you can. Pull them straight back. Keep squeezing. Exhale, draw the shoulder blades down the spine. Yes. Inhale into the upper back. Exhale, hug mid-shoulder blades towards spine. Hold down. Inhale into the upper back. Exhale, bend elbows. Draw bottom tips of shoulder blades, elbows towards spine. Hold down. Release the arms, roll out the shoulders. We'll do one more round, so taking a deep breath into the upper back. Lift the shoulders up as high as you can. Hold them straight back. Like you're squeezing a pencil. Keep squeezing. Exhale, draw the shoulder blades down the back. Good night. Inhale into the upper back. Exhale, hug mid-shoulder blades towards one another. That's it. Pull shoulder blades down. Inhale into the upper back. Exhale, bend your elbows, draw bottom tips of shoulder blades, elbows towards spine, pull down. Release the arms, roll out the shoulders. Reverse warrior, flip the left palm to the sky. Exhale, reach up and back. Right hand can come on your hip or start working its way down that right leg. Basically anywhere but the knee joint. Reach that left arm back behind you. Breathe into left side body. Yes. Try to fill up the space from your hip all the way through your armpit, all the way up to the fingertips with breath. And half of you are already in the next version of the pose, so coming into the next stretch, I'm not going to name names, reach the left hand towards the front of the room, relax your head towards the right shoulder, so you're feeling for a neck stretch from that left ear down through the shoulder. If you tend to hold tension in your jaw, move the lower jaw around here. You might get a ear pop or two. Reach through the left hand, come back up through warrior two into an extended warrior with a heart opener. So left forearm comes down to the left thigh. Right hand is gonna reach straight up to the sky, opening through your chest. Yeah. Press the left arm into the left leg so you've got leverage. And then open even more through the heart. You've got it. If you want to do this true Forrest style, you let your head go. So one of the main tenets of Forrest yoga is relaxing the neck. We so often lead our lives with our head and our minds, giving our head and our minds a break. In this pose, letting the heart lead, letting the legs stabilize you. And as you start to feel uncomfortable, breathe into that. Reaching through the right arm, come all the way back upright. Straighten out the left leg, thank God, right? And tiptoe the right toe in a little bit. Coming into triangle pose. So you're going to reach that left arm as far forward as you can, and then down. Left hand can come to your shin, the ground, or your block. You have to manipulate your legs a little bit to get there. Right arm reaches up to the sky. Connecting into your breath. Yeah. Lisa, flip your block over one more so you've got a little more space. Yeah, there you go. Breathing here into the chest. Beautiful, Lisa. Finding space. Check in with your body. So notice if there's any tension or any pain. Feel for modifying the pose so that you don't have to have that. Yeah, good, Joanne. Exhale, right hand to hip if it's not already. Bend into the left knee. Grab a block if you need it. Ardha Chandrasana, this half moon. We'll shift the weight forward into the left foot. Inhale. Right leg lifts up. I recommend bringing this left hand to the outer diagonal of the left foot. If this is too much, you can always keep the right foot on the ground and just balance more on the left leg. If you want to add more, extend the right arm up to the sky. One more breath here. Yeah, that's it. Perfect. On your exhale, lower right hand to the ground. Step the right foot all the way to the back of your mat. Face the front of your mat here. So you're in a deep, low lunge. Hands can be on your block if the ground feels far away. Keep the right hand rooted. So you may want to place a block under that right hand, coming into a spinal twist. Left arm extends up to the sky. If that feels like too much, left hand can be on the left thigh instead. And if your right leg needs a break, you can always bring the knee down to the ground. Connect into your breath. Yeah, beautiful. Brittany, pull the left shoulder blade back more. Yeah, that's it. And then lift up through the chest. feel this expansion into the heart center. With the exhale, you feel this connection back to your core. Always exhale out the mouth. Beautiful, Jamie. Take one more inhale. Exhale. Lower the left hand down. Both hands come to the inside of the left leg. Lower the right knee down to the mat. If you need some extra padding, you can always flip over your mat or place a sweatshirt under that right knee. We're going to hang out here, getting deeper into the hips, so you're welcome to stay right where you are with your hands on the ground. Or maybe you can bring the forearms down to the ground or your block. The goal here is to not push. You want to be able to feel the breath easily flow in and out and go to about 60% of the depth that you can. So bringing your forearms to the ground is a lot. Don't do it. If you want to add a little more strength work to this pose, curl the right toes under, pick up the right knee. That will just activate the right quadricep. Breathe into the intensity. And always exhale out the mouth. Beautiful. Staying with what's bubbling up for you. Three more breaths here. Exhale, lower the right knee down if it's not already. We're going to straighten out the left leg. So you're going to release some of that tension. If it feels good, you can bend and straighten the leg, shifting out of it so you can get some release. Maybe you really want a stretch and you can fold over that left leg. Moving from here into pigeon. So handful of options. You can take a traditional version of pigeon where you walk the left foot over to the right side of your mat, bend the left knee and come down. This is a pretty intense version. So if you want to decrease this, the heel comes closer in to your core. If this feels like too much and you've got pretty tight hips, you're going to come onto your back, cross the left ankle over the right thigh, and work from here. There's a place of lock under your hip, like so. Yeah. There you go. Maybe move it a little bit over. There you go. Yep. And you can always stay up on your hands. 5 deep breaths here. See if you can soften a little bit here. If it feels like too much, you can always back out of the pose. Feel for what you can let go of in this moment. Melt a little bit deeper. We'll take one more full breath. Slowly start to ease your way up out of this. You can take your time. We'll have about 5 breaths to make your way back to your down dog. So you can take your entire 5 breaths to ease out of the pose. Maybe you want to take a few cat-cows or that vinyasa, that chaturanga, to an up dog. Maybe you just want a child's pose where your knees are on the ground and you're resting here. About 3 more breaths. When you arrive in down dog, take a deep breath in. Exhale. exhale out the mouth. Inhale, slowly extend the right leg up and back. Exhale, bend the right knee, open up the hip. Keep reaching the hips high towards the sky. Breathing into the space you just created. Inhale, re-extend the right leg. Exhale, step the right foot through. Warrior two, back heel, roots down. Inhale, come all the way up, turning to face the window side of the room. Take a few breaths, holding here, just situating in your pose. And always flip the palms to take pressure out of the shoulders. Right knee is bending towards 90 degrees. Doesn't have to get there. That's the goal. Let's do some kite hops. So on your inhale, you're going to flip the palms up to the sky. On your exhale, you're going to lead with the thumbs. Start to rotate the upper arms forward. And Lisa's got it in the back of the room if you can't see me very well. You're round to the chest and roll over. Inhale, thumbs lead, start to roll through the hands, lift up, and Gina's got it, Brittany's got it, Jamie's got it, fabulous. On your exhale, thumbs roll, shoulder blades lift, rolling down to the heart. Inhale, unwind, come back up. That's it, we'll do one more like that. Exhale, thumbs slowly rotate, yes. Chest follows, inhale, open it back up. Exhale, release the arms to roll out through the shoulders. Inhale, lift your arms up. Bring your elbows in front of the shoulders directly. And you're going to squeeze, so similar to Dolphin Pose, you're going to pretend like you have an invisible beach ball in between the elbows. Squeeze that beach ball, yeah. And then palms slightly tilt outward towards the front and back of the ribs. Gina, turn the palms towards each other. There you go. Breathe into the back of the heart. These will lift up a little more to the chest. There you go. And then inhale, release the arms, roll out the shoulders. It's a version of unlocking the shoulders. Inhale, float the arms back up. Exhale, reverse warrior, flip the right palm to the sky. Exhale, reach up and back. Left hand can come to your hip. Start to lean back here. Maybe that left hand starts to work down the leg if that feels good. Otherwise, keep your left hand on the hip. Breathing into the right side body. Trying to access the space in between the ribs. All the way down into the obliques. Hip. Moving into our next stretch, reach the right arm towards the front of the room. Let the head hang towards the left shoulder. So your goal here is to feel a stretch from the ear, down along the neck, maybe all the way into that right shoulder. You can always move around the lower jaw. Release some extra tension. And reaching through the right hand, come back up, warrior two. All the way into extended warrior with a heart opener. So right forearm to right thigh. Left hand reaches straight up to the sky, opening through the heart. Nice, Melinda. Feel for space here. Infuse your pose with breath. I swear I always make you fall. Whenever I say your name, I make you fall over. It's not fair. Take a deep breath into your heart. Exhale, root down even more through your feet so you feel that connection to the earth. Yeah, if you prefer the other version by bringing the right hand all the way to the ground, you can do that. Remember, this is your practice. Reaching through the left hand, come all the way back up, warrior two, legs are strong. Straighten out the right leg, triangle pose. You may want to shorten the stance a little bit. Reach the right arm as far forward as you can and down. Left hand extends up to the sky. And if this bothers your shoulder or elbow, you can always bring the left hand to your hip. So finding the pose that works best with your body. That right hand can always be on a block instead. Gina, pull the left shoulder back a little bit more. There you go. Fill this pose up with 2 more deep breaths. Exhale, left hand to hip, transitioning into this half moon. Bend into the right knee. You may need a few steps here. Right hand's going to come to a block or the ground to the outside diagonal of the right leg. Left leg is going to lift. Maybe the left arm extends up. So finding your balance here. Sometimes that's how you spend the whole pose, is finding the balance. Nice, Anna, lift that left leg a little bit higher. Awesome. And exhale, set the left hand down. Step the left foot to the very back of your mat so you're situated in a lunge. Back knee can always come down. Hands can come to blocks if you'd like. Left hand stays on the ground or a block. Right hand can start on the right thigh, starting to twist towards the right side of the room. Maybe the right arm extends up towards the ceiling. Back knee can come down for support. Breathing here into the chest, lifting to the heart. Yeah. Beautiful. Fill this pose up with strong, fluid breaths. Notice if you're adding tension. So sometimes when a pose is challenging, we stress somewhere else, tighten somewhere else. Feel for releasing. Ask yourself what you need to do to accomplish that. Exhale, lower the right hand down. Bring the left knee down to start. Both hands to the inside of that right leg. So coming to this deep low lunge, you can always straighten out the leg if it starts to feel too much. This can be where you stay, hand on the ground, knee on the ground. Or maybe you're feeling a little bit flexible this morning and you want to bring the elbows down to a block or all the way down to the ground. Maybe you need a little more intensity. If that's the case, you can curl the left toes under, pick up that left knee. We'll take 5 full breaths here. And it's not about the depth, it's not about how well you do the poses. I always hate when people say I'm not good at yoga because that doesn't exist. To be good at yoga is to just be with your body and to feel with what's bubbling up. You could touch your toes or you could never be able to touch your toes, and that's fine. It's all about finding your breath, being present for what's arising, and listening to your body over what you see or what you hear externally. If you're down on the forearms, press your way back up to the palms of your hands. Straighten out the right leg. So this is just that little release. If it feels better to bring in some movement, you can bend and straighten the leg here. Moving into our version of pigeon pose. So, you start to walk that right foot over to the left side of the mat, bending the right knee. The closer your heel is in towards your right leg, the less intense the pose will be. You can always place a block under your hip. If you don't feel much, you can always bring the shin more parallel to the top of your mat. That will absolutely intensify the pose. About 7 breaths total. Feel for melting. Full deep breaths. you let go. Two more full breaths. Inhale, start to ease back up to the palms of your hands. About 5 or so breaths to make your way back to down dog. So you can take the 5 breaths to get out of the pose, play around with some cat-cows on your hands and knees, or maybe take a vinyasa or a child's pose. Take a huge breath in your down dog. Exhale, step or float through to a seat on your mat. If cross-legged doesn't feel good, you can always sit up on a block. Coming into a neck stretch here because I think during the holidays we all need a little more neck stretch. So take the right hand, fingertips pointing in, and you're going to sit on the top of your hand. So whatever you're sitting on top of, between your sit bone and the ground or your block. And your inhale, lengthen up. And your exhale, relax your head over to that left shoulder. Switch your hands. Yeah, you were doing it right the first time. Yeah. And let your head hang heavy towards this side. There you go. If you want a deeper stretch, reach the left arm up to the sky. Let the hand come over the head. Without pulling, it's just more of a weight. David, relax your head towards the left, or towards the left, yeah. There you go. Does anyone not feel this stretching? Exhale, lower the chin a little bit towards the chest. Notice how that shifts the stretch. And release both hands. Bring the palm of your left hand to your forehead. Head comes up last. Roll out the shoulders. If you'd like, you can switch the cross of your legs. Moving to the second side, left hand. Fingertips point in. Sit down on the top of the hand. Lengthen up through the spine. Exhale, relax your head over towards the right shoulder. Option to bring that arm up, wrap it around your head to go a little deeper. Close your eyes. Wash the breath through this side of your neck. And shift your chin closer to your chest. Just notice how that shifts where your stretch is. Release both hands. Take the palm of your right hand to the forehead. Help the head back up. And then come all the way down onto your back. Let's do this full body stretch. Reach your arms overhead. Legs extend to the front of the room. And just pull yourself apart here. into your chest. Get a little rocking side to side, massaging out the spine. You're welcome to stay exactly here. Or moving into happy baby pose, bending your knees, reaching down and grabbing hold of either the outer edges of your feet or the big toes with the first two fingers. And just continue to roll a little bit side to side, massaging the spine, opening up through the hips. Release, bring your knees back together, moving into a final spinal twist. Arms come out to your sides. Shift the hips over to the left. On your exhale, lower the knees over to the right. If there's a different version of a spinal twist you prefer, you are welcome to take that. Breathing into the side body. Closing your eyes here. If that feels comfortable. Letting your body be heavy. Inhale, bring the knees back up to center. Shift your hips over to the right. Exhale, switch sides, so knees lower over to the left. So again, closing your eyes if you're comfortable with that. Tuning your awareness back inside. Final movement or pose of choice. So if you want maybe another bridge pose, you can take that. If you want a back release, you can always set your hips up on the able block, legs extend to the sky. If you want a shoulder stand, you can take that. If you want a Supta Baddha Konasana, you can take that. Soles of the feet come together, knees open wide. It's a really good groin and hip stretch. If there's something non-yoga that you feel like doing right now, do that. Taking about 5 to 10 breaths to complete your practice. That could even be an early Shavasana, so whatever would feel best to your body in this moment, there's no wrong way to move. Start to deepen your breath. And bringing movement back into the body. And slowly roll over to one side. Taking a moment in this fetal position. And slowly, with your eyes still closed, press your way up to a seat on your mat. And check in with that spot you started your practice with. Take a breath into that area. Notice what's shifted. Notice what's present. Inhale to reach your arms up to the sky. Exhale, hands back to heart center. The goodness in me bows to the goodness in you. Namaste.